everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Late Winner Show. As you can see from the background and from the panelists that I have, it's all about Arsenal today. Great run that Arsenal are on. I think they had a kind of a blip in between when they lost to Liverpool United and Everton on the trot, but I guess they're back to winning ways now, and great performances in the last couple of weeks, I must say. To discuss all this, I have Scott to discuss about the Arsenal situation and what's going on and what's next. What are we expecting from Arsenal in the next coming months and in the coming season? Welcome, Scott, to the Late Winner Show. How are you doing?
I'm really well. Thanks for having me on. I'm a big fan of the show, and I really like the content you put out. So to come on and speak with you is always going to be a big pleasure.
Awesome. Before we do proceed, do you mind just letting us know a little bit about your channel as well?
Yeah, I co-host an Australian Premier League show called It's a Football Thing. If you go on YouTube and search the IFT pod, you'll find that. I do that with a mate who is a Chelsea fan and a Man United fan. So plenty of debate, sometimes plenty of disagreement, but we always keep it respectful. So we try and cover all the big things in the Premier League. So plenty of that happening at the moment.
Awesome. We'll leave the links in the description below for Scott's channel as well. So definitely go check it out. Great content over there as well for any Premier League content if anyone's looking for that. But also subscribe to our show, the Late Winner Show. Make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for all kinds of football content that we keep putting out on our YouTube channel and on our audio channels as well. But let's get started into the Gunners episode, right? What a performance a day before against Leeds United. Even though we all know the way Leeds play, is very open, very attack minded.
Mm.
But Arsenal, on the other hand, have been really good defensively. But like offensively in the last two games against Southampton and Leeds, I've been really impressed with them. What have you made what have you made of that Leeds performance that just happened a couple of days ago?
Oh, look, I was really thrilled with the Leeds performance, but it is what I expected. Leeds have been decimated by injuries and they're in very poor form. And being a big club like Arsenal are, these are the matches you need to go out and dominate.
Yeah.
I'd said before that on our channel, if I feel nervous during this match, something's wrong. Because I shouldn't have felt nervous. It should be comfortable. It was comfortable. I would describe it as a really professional performance. Obviously, um, the West Ham result as well was great. We've had some good performances lately where we've had consistent lineups, which I think is super important, and we've had some players in those lineups who have really stepped up and made a big difference.
Mhm. And what when we should talk about the goal scorer that was there in the match, Martinelli. We'll talk about Aubameyang in a little while,
Mm.
but he's definitely stepped up. The last two games he scored three goals, and terrific performance from him, I must say. But do you think Martinelli can become that next goal scorer that Arsenal need? I think he's still very young, still 20, I think 20 years of age. But with the boots that he's filling in is of Aubameyang, and we all know, like, what problems Aubameyang is having off the pitch. But do you think, like, Martinelli is actually the solution for you guys in the coming months, or you're still thinking that we might have to go into the winter transfer window and actually buy a striker?
It's a really good question. I mean, when you look at the way we're playing, it's actually Lacazette who's leading the line. Now, I would more say Lacazette has stepped into that role of Aubameyang, leading our attack.
Hmm.
But having Martinelli out in those wide positions reminds me of what Aubameyang was doing at the beginning of Arteta's reign and under Emery, playing out wide. Um, Arsenal fans love Martinelli. It's one of the only things Arsenal fans agree on. We love to disagree, but we all love this kid. He's got so much talent, determination, and drive, and all he needed was minutes. Now, he couldn't get into the team. Many people will say Arteta was trying to protect him after the injury. Others believe that Arteta left it too late to put him in. I don't know where I stand. I know the Amazon documentary will probably reveal a little bit more, but
Yeah.
For my mind, Martinelli needs to be playing now as a regular starter. I don't care who gets dropped for him. He's shown that he's ready. So he's been brilliant. But Lacazette deserves a large amount of credit too for the way that he's come in and added some leadership at the front and the way he presses and holds up the ball. For someone of his size, his hold up play is quite strong because he's not a big striker. So Martinelli, of course, has been kind of the main man, but Lacazette needs a lot of credit too.
Yeah, I think I kind of agree with you and don't agree with you at the same time. I think Lacazette was, when he was brought in from, I think from Olympic Lyon. I think you got him
Mm.
right. I think he proved, like, he I think he proved a lot in Lyon, but just because it was French, in the French league, and we call, like, the farmers league, the French league, and there's no competition and all that stuff. But I think when he came here, he didn't really blow up the Premier League where what we
Mm.
were hoping to, right? Like, and most of the games, like when he was, I remember when he was here in the initial years, it's more like he used to score in the home games, he used to score against the minnows of the Premier League. He wasn't really present in the big games that Arsenal needed him, right? And I think so that's been one of the problems for Lacazette, at least for me. Aubameyang has definitely been good. He's come up in the big situations, not recently, but definitely, like when Arteta came in. I remember his run, sorry, his two goals against, in the Community Shield and the FA Cup that won them, right? So he tweeted out, Arteta's post saying "my manager" or something. I remember that, and there's been a big fallout since then. But there's been these partnerships for Arsenal at this moment of time between, you see that Gabriel and Ben White are having like a good partnership with Ramsdale's, always been behind their back. Where you look at, what's the midfield, Saka and, sorry, Emil Smith Rowe and
Odegaard.
uh, Odegaard, yeah, sorry, Odegaard. There's that partnership between, for that creative playmaking that Arsenal leads. And then when you see the attack, there's like bunch of attackers: Martinelli, Lacazette, Saka, Nicola Pepe, Aubameyang. But there's no kind of, like, I don't see like a lot of gelling in the team, where that's where you were struggling. If you go back like towards the last season, where you kind of have like that torrid run where you went on like the 7-8 defeats in a
Mm.
row. And that was, I think that was one of the problems. Obviously defense was one of the problems as well, but I think Arteta obviously fixed that, even when you didn't buy Ben White, right? So that was still there. But I think the attacking side is still the attacking side is still a problem for us.
Yeah, and I think one of my criticisms of Arsenal um, post Arsene Wenger is that our lineups have never been consistent.
Mm,
And a huge part of the game is chemistry.
yeah.
And you cannot have chemistry is not always built on the training pitch. You build chemistry in games, in big moments when you have to trust each other and have each other's backs. And I think we're seeing from Arsenal that if the lineup's consistent, we get overall better performances. You look at our defense.
Yeah.
We had the first three matches where we were impacted by COVID. So we didn't have a consistent defense.
Yes.
Kolasinac played, Pablo Mari got bullied by Chelsea. Um, Now, ever since we've had the Ben White Gabriel partnership with Tomiyasu at right back and Tierney or Tavares on the left, our defense has been much better.
Mhm.
Aaron Ramsdale came in, he's been our consistent keeper. We've looked much safer. I think now we just need that consistency up front. I would like to see us start, our next 5 or 6 matches with Martinelli on the left, Saka on the right, Lacazette up top. I think that's the only way we'll build that chemistry, and it's already starting to look good.
Yeah.
Even with Odegaard playing kind of a number 10 role, we're looking quite nice. So we just need consistency, and I think that's the key
Yeah.
to
I think
keep
that's
going.
a yeah. I think that's a great point. Let's move on to the Aubameyang question.
Mm.
Uh, yeah, I mean, I think I don't really need to, elaborate on that. I think everyone knows like what's going on with Aubameyang. I think he was recently stripped off the captaincy. He's not been in. He's been training alone, as Arteta said, and he's not been in the squad as well. And I don't really see him at Arsenal, now for the future. I think he will go. I read a rumor where Chelsea were acquiring about him, which obviously is a very bad idea. I think it's a terrible idea if he goes to Chelsea at the moment. But what do you think has gone wrong over for Aubameyang?
I think it's a personality clash, to be honest. I mean, you can see Aubameyang is more of that party kind of character.
Yeah,
He likes to be the joker in the dressing room. He's the life of the party. He's always on his social media. And Mikel Arteta is very regimented. He's very strict and very firm. Um, and I think, to be honest, it's just a clash. I'm not excusing Aubameyang's actions because, as the club captain, you can't turn up late and you can't mess around with COVID protocols.
yeah,
And he's done that a couple of times, and I'm sure there have probably been little things that have happened that we don't know about. So I understand Arteta taking a strong stance. I agree with him not being in the matchday squad. I don't like him being forced to train with the reserves. I think you've made your point by not playing him and not putting him in the squad. I feel like you're just trying to humiliate him further by putting him with the reserves, and that's probably the part I don't agree with. I don't think we need to humiliate or embarrass him because that can just turn it toxic.
yeah,
He's a popular character, but I understand him not being in the team, and he shouldn't be in the team because he was playing poorly anyway.
yeah.
People are forgetting that. So him not being there deserved. Training with the reserves, I feel like that's Tedder's inexperience and stubbornness, to be
Yeah,
honest.
yeah. I mean, I remember when even Wenger got him, he was. I think I was very excited to see him in the Premier League because we've all followed his career in
Mm.
Dortmund, and he was prolific over there. He used to score so many goals, and even with Arsene Wenger, I think he was still producing goals. Even Arsenal were not finishing in the top four. I think he's never played in the Champions League for Arsenal as of now. I think he's never played. Something went wrong when he signed that contract extension last year. Something just went wrong from there. It has just been downhill from there, and I don't know what's exactly gone wrong for him because nothing changed unless he just signed something on that paper saying that I'm going to stop performing now. I don't
Uh,
know what's gone wrong over there because the coach was the same. Everything was working out before that, and I don't know what exactly just changed suddenly.
the system has changed a little bit in terms of the football we're trying to play, but look, I don't think we play to Aubameyang's strengths
Yeah.
either.
Hmm.
And I don't want to sit here and defend a player who's had poor behaviour, and I'm not defending him either. But I'm just saying what I see. I don't see a team that plays to his strengths. You look at Leicester; they play to Jamie Vardy's strengths. Jamie Vardy has pace. Jamie Vardy is not overly physical, so he'll play off a really good through ball. We don't play that way. We need our striker to hold the ball up and bring others in. That's not Aubameyang's strength.
Yeah. So, who, according to you, will be the next Arsenal captain, or who should
That's,
be? Yeah.
that's a tough question. I would say Kieran Tierney.
Okay.
Kieran Tierney.
So
I
why
do
is it?
worry. I worry about his injury record though, um, but I feel like his behaviour is perfect. He's very professional. He gives 100% on the pitch. Being an attacking left back, he's in all areas of the field, so he can relay instructions. I think he's an ideal candidate. I would have them Ramsdale as the vice captain. I don't believe Xhaka should get it back after what
Yeah.
he did.
No.
Um, Erdegaard is not a guaranteed starter, even though he's in great form. I think Ramsdale as vice captain. That way, if Tierney is unavailable, we know we've got someone as a vice who communicates, is passionate, is professional.
Yeah, I think what I would do is I was going to go for like Ramsdale as the captain just because from the I know like the problem with the Arsenal squad right now is like there's so many youngsters in the squad and it's all for the future, right? I don't think like a player like Emil Smith-Rowe is probably ready for a captaincy, right? I don't think so. So I think like Ramsdale just so because he's the goalkeeper, he sees everything what's
Mm.
happening in and around the game and he communicates so well with the two defenders that he has, in the name of Gabriel and and Ben White. I think I've grown a fan of him, and then he's becoming like this club legend slowly and slowly. Like even though it's just been like it's been half of the season that's already been gone. But I think that he will be a good option to have as a
Absolutely.
captain. Yeah.
And a lot of people say that I've had so many say to me, you shouldn't give goalkeeper the captaincy.
No.
I don't see why not. To me, the goalkeeper is probably the most important communicator on the pitch. And Ramsdale is very vocal. He does
Yeah.
that. So I do still say Tierney is captain, Ramsdale is vice.
Okay. And then just slowly coming back to the Aubameyang question, what next for Aubameyang? I think do you see him being listed as a player in the winter transfer window and somebody coming in and Arteta just going with him? Maybe they can cash in some money for him and get a player, a good striker maybe. I mean, I'm not saying like Aubameyang is not a good striker, but I think
Yeah,
like
no, I
maybe
know
who
what you
is
mean.
more disciplined with the style that Arteta needs. So the thing is that I was reading just before I was preparing for this. I read even in when he was in Dortmund and Thomas Tuchel was the manager over there. He used to whenever the team needed to report, like let's say at 11 a.m. He used to say that he used to tell it to Aubameyang saying that we need to report at 10:45. Like that's like it's not something like new for Aubameyang. I think he's been breaching a lot of code of conducts in the previous clubs as well. So this is not the first time. But what do you think next for Aubameyang now?
Look, to be honest, I see this becoming another Mesut Ozil situation where we
Yeah.
actively try and sell the player, but his age and his wages make it very hard to find someone to take him. And I think this situation could have been handled better.
Yeah.
Like I said to you, I feel like Arteta's taken it too far, making him train alone. And Aubameyang's an emotional character. I just think that's going to end it for him. I don't think I'll see Aubameyang play again for the Arsenal, which is disappointing. But I do see this being Mesut Ozil all over again. We'll try and sell him. It's going to be very hard to get an offer, and if we do, I see it being one where we still have to pay some of his wages.
Hmm.
So we'll probably take a financial hit on moving Aubameyang on, but I do think he'll go. I honestly see him going.
And sorry, and you said in the winter transfer window or summer?
I think we'll actively shop him in the January transfer window. I feel like Arteta's had enough.
Yeah. I
But
think
look,
I think
I'd like to be wrong. I want to be wrong. I want him to come back and start banging in goals, quite
yeah.
frankly. But yeah, I don't think it can be redeemed from here.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think I also think that's the right option to go for. I think his time at the club is over. I guess like and he should be. I think he should leave, and he should leave for a club where he can start performing at a level that we all know Aubameyang can perform. Because you're right in the way that Arsenal does not play in that manner where it fits Aubameyang's play exactly. So I guess the play needs to kind of like revolve around him to be him for him to be successful, at him. But I guess like right now Arteta is like focusing everything on the future, like the players that everything that the players that he got in the summer transfer and everything is catered towards the future. You won't see the results right away, right? Because I would probably say that Arsenal are probably best of the rest, but not like better than United, City, Liverpool, and all these. Because we've already seen like they've lost basically the entire top six, right? That they played against last season. But very important question now: can Arsenal finish into the top four? I think it's been almost 6 years now that Arsenal haven't finished in top four. Is this the time, like, because you see like Chelsea struggling a little bit, United struggling a little bit. Maybe we'll see like what United is made of right now. Tottenham are definitely getting into the groove with Antonio Conte. That fourth spot and probably the third spot, barring how much Chelsea slip up now, that is up for grabs. You think that Arsenal can grab that?
Look, we can, but whether we will is it's going to take a lot of
Yeah.
consistency. It's going to take collective performance and collective responsibility. So I certainly think we've got enough talent, but I do think we'll fall just short. I actually see us finishing fifth or sixth. I
Mhm.
think that Chelsea, you can't forget that they're the champions of Europe, and they have been decimated a little bit at the moment. I expect them to
Mhm.
come back strong and finish in the top four. And I think that Ralph Ragnick will get some business done in January
Yeah.
for Man United. So I also expect them to make a big push.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah. Okay. So you're thinking Arsenal not
Fifth or
finishing,
sixth.
not finishing in the top four this season. Okay. I think that's all that I had, for the pod. But any last thoughts on for Scott, for you? Any last expectations that you have from Arsenal for for the rest of the season?
Oh, look, fifth or sixth is my minimum expectation. We are too big a club to not be playing European football. And I'm not buying the Conference League. We're not Spurs. I don't want to be in that. Um, but if we don't finish in the top six, Arteta's got to go because he's been backed. So, but I do think we will. I'm confident we'll finish in the top five or six. Uh, but
Yeah.
improvement is needed.
Yeah, I think the yeah, I feel the same, just because the when you play against the not the top four sides, I think you brush them aside, right? It's not even a tight affair in any for any for any reason. Everything is just very simple. They play like a team. Everything is very simple, and they just brush them away. They don't even let the players come back, let the teams come and play against them. They just finished them probably in the first 30, 30, 45 minutes, because that's what they did to Leeds. I think they were already up by 3-0, 3-0, I think, in the first half itself, I think. So I think that's how they play, and I think that's how they're going to play. The only thing that I would like to see from them is how now they perform against the bigger side. So now the second round of fixtures are going to come up, and let's see how they perform against City, because you didn't see the best performance against um, Chelsea and City when they played in the second and the third game week of the season, because Arsenal were depleted and they didn't really have the players at that time. So I would really like to see them, how they would perform against them. Liverpool again. I think one bad mistake from Nuno Tavares, and that basically just killed off the game. And I guess Arsenal were still in the game for almost 38 to 39 minutes, until that spat between
Mm.
Arteta and Klopp. So I'd really like to see where Arsenal go from them. I'm really enjoying them, like being a Premier League fan. I've seen the Premier League for almost 13, 14 years. I've seen the highs, and I've seen the football that Arsenal can produce. I'd really like them to come back into the Champions League and start performing there as well. But right now, obviously, we can't really say anything unless until apart from just giving our predictions and what we would like to see from them. But great, I think great things are coming for Arsenal. I definitely do feel that. Scott, thank you again for coming on to the Late Winner Show and providing your thoughts on your beloved club Arsenal.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you for having me, man. And anyone watching, if you haven't already subscribed, make sure you subscribe to this channel because there's always great content.
Thank you so much for that. Do Yeah, as Scott said, do make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to the Late Winner Show. Hit that like button, hit the notification bell. Helps the channel grow. Hit the subscribe button. We'll leave the links in the description below for Scott's channel as well. Do check it out as well. Three great friends about Chelsea, Arsenal, and United, going on to the pod and fighting with each other. No, that's not right. but having a great argument, and build some great content on YouTube as well. But that being said, thank you again, everyone, for watching, and we'll see you very, very soon.